Hey Mr. Torley, so this is my vlog for the city of Mainz. So we started off the day by going to a parliament building in the capital city of Mainz. And Mainz is the capital city of the province Rhineland-Palatinate, not the country. So it's just the capital city of the province. So this is like the provincial parliament building. And it was really cool. We learned that you can vote for their members at 16 years old, and for federal elections at 16 years old too, instead of 18 years old as it is in Canada. So lots of the people in global, lots of the Germans were going to vote because the next federal election was this Sunday coming up. So that was pretty cool. And then next we went on a guided tour, and our tour guide, he was pretty goofy. I liked him. He took us to this big church, and it was really cool. We learned a lot about the history of the stained glass windows, which was pretty cool. And then we went to another church, as you can see in this video. And I also thought that was cool because he was telling us about the organs, like the church instrument organs that were in there. And this church had its organs in 3 different parts. So there's one in the middle and then 2 on either end. And I thought it was really cool because our tour guide told us that it takes up to, or at least a year, to tune each part of the organ, which I thought was crazy. But it sounded really cool. They started playing while we were in there because they started tuning them. But our tour guide got annoyed, so he made us leave a little bit early. Yeah, and then after we stepped outside of the church, because the organ started being tuned, we stepped into the courtyard, as you can see there, and it was really beautiful. There was lots of really cool gardens and stuff. They're really nice. And then our tour guide took us to the city center, or the city square, which was really cool because there was a statue that he told us about of a man named Johannes Gutenberg. And he is the person who invented the system, or like the newly invented system of like printing books and paper way more efficiently. So you could print like a whole book in like minutes, as before that they were just being written by hand. And obviously with that new invention, many other books were printed, like newspapers, articles, books, all sorts of stuff. And the information that was held within books was much more easily shared because instead of spending hours and hours handwriting each individual page and book, you could print a whole book in just a few minutes. So the world issue I'm going to be talking about for this vlog is drug addiction and abuse. And this is because while we were on our guide took us, as I mentioned, to the statue of Johannes Gutenberg. And as we were there, he was talking about the statue, he was telling us about it. A man came up to us. He was very clearly under the influence of something. I don't know if it was alcohol or drugs or a combination of both. But he started talking to our tour guide in German. Obviously, I didn't know what he was saying. But the tour guide kindly asked him to please leave. He didn't. He turned to us and started talking to us in English, and he was talking about the music that they have in Germany during the summer. It was kind of confusing because he was clearly under the influence. But I understood why he was talking about the music. I've seen some musicians on the side of the street, and they're pretty good. But I still didn't really need him to tell us about that, and especially it's because I was standing at the front of the group at the time. And he was staring right at me for a big chunk of the time he's talking to us, which is a good solid, like 2-3 minutes, which doesn't sound that long, but it was kind of scary, so it felt like a long time. And then our tour guide called the police. They didn't show up very fast. We ended up walking away before they got there. But I looked it up, and in Germany, over 150,000 people use heroin and other opioids regularly, and 300,000 people regularly use cocaine. So that's not great. But you can either look at this next one as either a positive or a negative, but the numbers in recent years, the numbers of people who are visiting treatment centers for drug addiction and abuse have doubled. So you can either look at that as more people are becoming addicted or more people are reaching out and searching for help. Yeah, so before I finish this vlog, special shout out to the ice cream I got that day, one of my daily ice cream cones. It was great. But yeah, thank you for listening, and this was my vlog of the city of Mainz.